Hey all, as you can see, very unusual, but we have nothing on the bar top to start this video, so it's
rare.
Somewhat of a surprise, a little bit Trenton doing Trenton things. That's all it is. He is, from what I consider to be a limited release and or allocated procuring master.
I'm internally known as, and my title here at at SLB is just I'm the procurer.
Yes.
So I just buy the stuff and we review it.
I know. I'm the shelf guy. I'm the shelf guy.
Yeah.
That's all I do. I look on shelves. That's it.
Yeah.
What we got for you today, guys? WoodinVille. So WoodinVille Wednesday.
WoodinVille Wednesday.
WoodinVille Wednesday.
We got
Why
Makers
not?
Monday, WoodinVille Wednesday.
Might as well carry it on.
Yep.
We got the 8-year from WoodinVille. Now, please relate to the folks what you told me about the availability of this bottle now and soon in the future.
So here's what I currently know is that the WoodinVille 8-year is, I think at the time that this video is going to be coming out, which is tomorrow, is going to be, it was a distillery only release, and then starting in September, it will be an either national release or it'll be in specific states. I don't know for sure exactly what the distribution channels are, distribution states are. But this is the 8-year. This is the first time they've done it. Mm-hmm. It is 100 proof, which is really cool. Usually if you see like an 8-year coming out, it's like cast strength or something. And dude, this is dark.
It is.
It's in WoodinVille, Washington. And we haven't really talked about WoodinVille too much.
Not as of late.
Yeah.
We did a few years ago. But,
when the
but not really as of late.
When the what was that? The Moscatel finish, the I think it's the bourbon that I have at home. I've gone through about 3 bottles of that.
That
fantastic.
If you ever see the Moscatel finish in for the WoodinVille, superb.
Get it. It's nuts.
Honestly, one of the best finished bourbons I've ever had in my life.
I agree. This is it's either $99.95 or $129.95. Kyle, I will send you a message once I get my facts straight here, and I will have you put the final price here up on the screen. But I'm really excited about this one.
I love it. I love that. I like their packaging to begin with. I like the square bottle that they use. I love the black and the silver on the front. I think the packaging looks great. As you said, the liquid looks dark.
Yeah.
The juice looks dark in there. I'm looking forward to it, and I have to admit, I had a little sample smell of this before the video started, and it was glorious.
It was. And full disclosure also, we're fully transparent here. This was a sample bottle that was sent to us from WoodinVille, but we did tell WoodinVille, hey, if you send us a bottle and we review it, doesn't mean we're gonna say it's super good and everybody should go buy it.
Yep.
So thank you to WoodinVille, thank you to Kat Spellman at WoodinVille for sending this on over to us.
Thank you, Kat. Very kind. Really appreciate it.
When I first opened it, it was giving me super deep, like it almost reminds me of how Buffalo Trace has that like kind of a sweet aspect on George T. Stagg with like just a damp prune or like I'm gonna say moldy prune, but it has like a dusty kind of a musty quality to it that I like.
I love that. That's so, and I get a lot of sweetness coming on the aromas. I love that prune note that you gave. Beautiful. It just seems, and I know this is weird, and this is what I told Trenton, but it seems fresh and clean. It just seems like
a what are those doodads you toss in the laundry? Like a dryer sheet?
It just feels like I should be out in the forest somewhere in Washington, popping this open for the first time, sitting down by a beautiful tree with a nice setting.
By some redwoods.
Dude, I want to go. I'm telling you, it just feels like that to me.
I'm thinking of Redwood Empire, not freaking. Sounds stupid.
I know, Jesus. I kind of went past it, but that's okay. That's okay.
Thanks.
All right. I don't know. That's just where I'm at, but I love it.
Yep. It really carries that, like, it has this like full woodiness to it, but not in a way like there are some hints of it on the nose where it kind of smelled like Corner Creek, like at the tail end, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be like a more raw type of a wood. But this is a nice type of a wood, I think, at least.
Definitely got some wood aspects there for sure.
What's sugar maple? This to me seems like it would be like a like a sappy wood, like a sugar maple or something. It's got some nice sweetness with the wood.
Sure.
Some of like during the sip though, I will say it's got a little bit of like a bitterness from the wood that I think kind of clashes with some of the other flavors.
Back end of the palate, into the finish, it's predominantly a wood note, but I wouldn't call it to be bitter.
No.
It's nothing like that.
Well, I said no, but it was to me a little bit. This is one of those ones where it's like, when you say all I get on the front, well, not all I get, but the front and the back of the palate is predominantly wood forward. If I were to hear that, somebody was kind of describing something to me, I'd be like, ooh, that doesn't necessarily sound like it'd be something for me. But it's weird because the wood on the front and the back has this, I keep saying cherry, but it's got this really nice not candied either, like a stone fruit or something.
Yeah, follow me on this.
Okay.
And I could be just completely off my rocker. But what you have here, for those of you who have tasted and might have in your own collection, a WoodinVille bourbon. This is the grown-up version. This is the big brother. This is the Mac Daddy of those. You get a lot of the same flavor profiles I remember from this, but just more mature, a little bit more wood characteristics because of the maturity, the 8-year age statement. But there's definitely, for me, on the front of the palate, a little bit of fruitiness. I'm almost going to equate it to like an apple pie note. And when I go to the back end, back to the middle of the back end of the palate, I'm getting, the wood to me equates more to like a walnut type of a note. So you get that walnuts are pretty earthy and sometimes can be a tiny bit bitter, but that's kind of where I'm at.
I like that. You said something about an apple-y kind of a note. I can kind of see that, like a nice, crisp, what do they get, Granny Smith or like something like that.
Definitely. I just had another sip. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with apple. All on the front of the palate. The sweetness, the apples on the front, going the mid to the back. It kind of evolves into a little bit of that walnut type note, so a little bit more wood aspects coming into play, middle to back.
What I like is that I had initially kind of settled in my own mind on like a stone fruit aspect, but then you said apple, and then immediately it was like, that's what I'm trying to pick up, or that's what I'm picking up. I just can't necessarily identify it all that well.
Sometimes that's the way it is. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. Now, I'm trying to decide before I really blurt it out there, but I feel that I like the aromas just a tiny bit better than the palate. But this is one that I believe that you can kind of sit with and contemplate for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Really. It definitely shows maturity in that WoodinVille lineup. I love that they came out with this. I love that they were patient.
Yeah, they didn't rush it.
They didn't rush it. They didn't rush to get something out to the market that was 6 years or whatever. I love that they kind of waited to package the 8-year product here.
This is going to be one of those really weird and rare times where I say I'm glad that they did it at 100 proof. There's something about this that I feel if it was cast strength, it would drink too hot, and really the only thing that would really come through would be the wood.
Yeah.
Because the sweetness and the appliness and those types of sweeter notes are a little bit more faint. And I think those would have just been absolutely destroyed with a cask with like a higher kind of a proof on this thing.
Right.
So I'm glad that they did this at 100 proof.
My feeling on this, Trenton, is there's going to be a little bit of some mixed reviews.
I could see that.
Just because there are some solid wood notes in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I usually don't really care for those like really just that's why I'm not a huge Four Roses fan or Wild Turkey fan, just because of the fact that it's not overly woody, but that's like it's up front. I don't necessarily care for that too much, but I think in this it works in a weird way. I couldn't necessarily describe it.
Yeah.
I could see it getting mixed reviews.
$100 to $130, somewhere in that general range.
Yeah.
Really, really contemplate your own personal palate on this one. What you really love, what some things you kind of don't like. I hope we were descriptive enough, because this is one that you don't want to pay. It's $100, $140, not cheap.
Nope.
However, I think it's a beautiful product.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm not saying it's overpriced either. I just feel that there's going to be some that love it and some that don't.
Yeah.
So really contemplate your own personal taste before you think about purchasing.
I'll say if you're not a huge fan of wood notes in the bourbon that you drink, this is just not going to be for you. I think there's a lot of woodiness going on in this. Some other nice notes, and that's not necessarily a bad thing that it's that woody, but it's just not going to be for everyone.
In closing, I'm gonna wrap up with this because I love what you said at the beginning on those wood notes. It's like that sappy, sugar maple. You know, it's that kind.
Yeah.
It's not raw oak. It's not like we talked about being in construction. You know, the raw sawdust stuff. It's nothing like
nice
that.
2x4.
I like how he put that with the wood notes. You know, it's like that sugar maple type sappy. I love that.
I'll say I got to give props to WoodinVille for being patient and waiting for this one, not rushing the product, and really taking something like this at a. I mean, this is their first age stated. Well, not first age stated, but this is their first kind of limited release, an 8-year, and they came in with a pretty solid price point, a solid product, and a good proof point.
Yeah. So. And thank you once again to the folks at WoodinVille, especially Kat, for helping us procure this bottle so that we can get a review out there right away before it hits a lot of the shelves.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate your kindness on that. All right, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much. Don't forget, live stream.
Yes. Kurt does not know what's going to be happening in this live stream, but I do.
Don't.
So,
no, we don't.
Don't miss it. 8 p.m. this Friday.
Friday, man, 8 p.m. Central.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time.
We got a lot of people coming down here, too. Not a lot of people, but kind of more than usual. Mom doesn't know.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her. She's not going to be happy.
If she watches, Mom, if you watch this video and you just heard me say that, shoot me a text. Love you.
That text is not going to be pretty.
I'm going to end up in the hospital.
All right, everybody. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time. Right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.